You just saw The Wrestler. We just did. It was your third time watching it, I think. I don't know how many times I've seen it. 6, maybe 7. And unfortunately, it's the day after Roddy Piper died. It was a great wrestler as well. Died too young, 61 years old. But I wanted to see this again.
What's his name again?
Rowdy, like excited. Roddy Piper. And he was an actor too.
Piper.
Like bagpipes. He played a Scottish, I guess he was Scottish, but he played a Scottish character. Well, his character was a Scot. You know, all these wrestlers, they have personas, characters. Mm-hmm. He always played a Scottish guy, and he wore a kilt. Okay, anyways, okay, you can't just look for 20 minutes.
What do you want me to say? I mean, that's why I didn't want to see it. It's such a painful movie, you know, and such a well-made movie. Well, you know what? Rhinoceros this time did a good job. Such a, what is it? What do you say? Such a strong, then on the other hand, weak character. You know, he didn't make it. It's such a sad nature. You know, he try, and he try. But in the end, he just couldn't, you know, he even betrayed his own daughter. Not betrayed in a bad way, he just, it's like some people, selfish. They have addiction.
Yeah, he was selfish.
And they can't shake it off.
Yeah, he was selfish. He drank too much, he did some drugs, he slept with that girl at the party, and he came home in the morning, and then he fell asleep all throughout the night, and then missed his night with his daughter.
Right. And even though he tried or did the best he could, but he just such a weak nature, you know, don't you think? Oh boy.
Well, I don't know about weak bits, but I mean, he had to make money and have a profession, and that's where he put everything.
Yeah, but we're talking about the main part of the movie, you know. He promised his daughter not to do anything but go out with her. On the other hand, and then he went out, he drank, he did whatever he did, and he missed the night with her. And the daughter said, well, enough is enough. You know? That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a great movie, you know? I mean,
and by that point, Randy had already decided to retire. He thought, okay, he wants to rebuild his life. He can't keep wrestling. He's in his probably 50s by this point. You know, he has already had so many injuries on top of the heart attack, and he's not making a ton of money from wrestling. He's living in a trailer. He's paying cash for everything. You know, paying cash for rent, going to the strip club at night.
He had a sad life, you know. I mean, if he wanted to, he could fix it, but he couldn't. He was just, like I said, he was weak. He couldn't fix his life. I mean, he would have, he would have good life if he, you know, give up all his bad habits and addictions and, you know, be with his daughter, his family, but he didn't because he couldn't. He just...
Well, yeah, he's only done one thing for so long.
No.
It's like whatever else happened, he always had wrestling. But you can tell, kind of, you know, when his daughter was growing up, he was doing the same thing, going out, partying, you know, going to strip clubs, because that's what a lot of wrestlers would do. The guy who wrote this movie, I think Spiegel's his name, let me see. But he was actually a comedy writer, and this is the first movie he wrote. He was a big fan of wrestling, and he wrote this based on a lot of record. Yeah, Siegel, not Spiegel. Robert Siegel. And he based, I think, a lot of it on this one wrestler, Jake the Snake Roberts, who I watched him when I was young, but by then he was old, like kind of too old to wrestle, and he always had a huge boa constrictor around his neck that he would bring into the ring. That's why they call him Jake the Snake. But he had a similar story too, and now he's an old man, and he's had to, lots of problems and stuff, and now he's sort of been I don't want to say sort of, I don't know for sure, I haven't followed it that closely, but he did the DDP yoga. Remember DDP helped Boogie? Diamond Dallas Page, he was a wrestler I watched when I was a kid, and he injured his back badly too, DDP, and they said he'd never wrestle again, but he sort of learned how to do yoga his own way and developed it. Anyways, a lot of wrestlers end up going through that, but you can tell he got estranged from his daughter by doing the same things, going out, doing drugs, partying, drinking, and just hanging around with other people, like ignoring his daughter.
I'll tell you, wrestlers, they have a sad life. It's a hard life. Very difficult. I don't know.
Well, when he would have been, his character was popular in the 80s, especially back then, they were like circus animals. They weren't, given really health insurance or anything. Anything happened to them, they were done. They were forgotten. It's not like, probably now, they're a little bit more, like, they take care of their whole lives. The World Wrestling Entertainment and whatever else I don't know how other organizations do it, but WWE's the big one now. Vince McMahon still runs it, and back then, then they would tour 200 some days a year, more than that, 250, and it's like they lived however they could. They didn't necessarily have health insurance or like they had to. It didn't matter if they were hurt, sick, whatever, they had to perform, and as a result, a lot of wrestlers now have been dying in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and some just, in the ring, like Owen Hart, he died falling 70 feet into the ring. He was supposed to come down from a cable in the 90s, and the cable snapped or something, and he just fell 70 feet in front of the whole audience. And his brother's a wrestler too, Bret Hart, and he was my favorite wrestler when I was growing up. He did this move called the sharpshooter, that I really liked. He'd twist your legs up, put you on your stomach and then pull your legs up behind you, like he tied up your legs around his leg. Anyways, a lot of them end up like that. Chris Benoit, I don't know what happened to him, some mental problem. He was a wrestler too with Bret Hart. They were both Canadian. Chris Benoit, a few years ago, shot his whole family and then killed himself.
Oh, I heard some. Yeah, I think.
But
I don't know the name, but
a lot of wrestlers too just die of heart attacks or whatever. I don't know how Roddy Piper died. Okay, but talk about the movie, the wrestler, Randy the Mickey Rourke plays him. He's so physical in the role. It's not just acting. He got big and he learned the moves and.
Oh, he did very good job. I mean, acting. It was the perfect role he have in everybody. I mean, the whole movie is just.
What did you think of
excellent.
Cassidy, the woman, the stripper that he was interested in?
Such a I mean, how do I describe her? She's such a sad girl. What do you think?
Well, I haven't seen anything like this for ages, but I did go to wrestling when I was much younger.
I'm talking about the girl.
Oh, well, it seemed like
the stripper.
Make things the way she wanted them. If she
has qualities on her, but on the other hand, she just did what she knew and what it was, I guess, easy and very difficult for her to be a stripper.
Yeah, well, she was.
But she had qualities, she wasn't like a junkie or some kind of hooker, She was.
She was getting too old for stripping too.
Yeah.
I think she's in her 40s at the time of this. You can tell it's like she's getting too old too. At the same time, Randy's too old for wrestling.
Yeah, but she's a quality.
What did you think of the wrestling matches?
Oh my God, that was such a. How are they doing that stuff? It's such a hard thing to do. Even acting, wrestling is. I don't know. You have to. I guess it takes so much to be a wrestler. I don't know how they did that stuff. I mean, is so real. And
he fought the hobo guy. Remember all the crazy, the tacks, the staples.
Yeah,
they jumped off the ladder.
The the injuries. It's so scary and frightening. And not only that, I mean, this what's his name?
Randy.
Yeah, Randy is like I don't know how he did all this. Too much blood,
But
so
that's the thing. It makes for a good show. When people see that, it's even more exciting.
And cutting his hands out, he was, selling meat. Oh God! I mean, it's just.
Yeah, what did
he
you think
did
of that?
everything he could, but he just couldn't prevail.
I mean, he did, I don't say he did everything he could. He was too kind of stubborn.
Yeah, maybe.
He couldn't change.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't want to change.
Yeah.
By the end, Cassidy was there waiting for him.
Yeah.
And then he still left because he wanted to go do what he liked, even though he knew, after the heart attack, he shouldn't do that.
Not only that, he knew he was going to disappoint his daughter, and that was the last time. She wouldn't go back. He knew, he's going to lose his daughter, but he did. He did it. He just went out, even though, and ignored. He couldn't.
Well, no, he didn't
beat
know
his
he'd lose her. Then he wasn't thinking about her. He was just wanted to go have fun, forget his problems, because he was too used to doing that. But then, of course, it backfired on him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He knew what he was doing anyway, but he just could be strong enough to...
Yeah. Well, he retired before that, and then when his daughter told him, get out of my life, then he realized, he has to go back to wrestling, because what else is he going to do? He only retired because he wanted a life now. He wanted to be with his daughter and try and be with Cassidy.
Right. Well, anyway, like I'm saying, this is... Oh, my God.
What did you think of the end fight? I forgot. There's actually 3 main fights in the movie. The end one with the Ayatollah, who's actually a wrestler I watched when I was young.
Oh, really?
He went by Ernest the Cat Miller. He always acted like very cocky and telling everyone, like, you can't dance with me and stuff. He would come in with a robe with, like, I think it had, like, cheetah skin on it. He called himself the Cat. Yeah.
Oh.
But he played the Ayatollah in this.
Yeah. Oh, it was excellent,
But did you notice that he kept telling Randy, take it easy, pin me?
Oh, yeah.
And Randy kept going because all he wanted to do was put on a show. But the Ayatollah, Bob, I think was the name of the movie, he could tell Randy was getting sick and faint and stuff. Yeah. But Randy, he wanted to do a show because he didn't want to let down the fans.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you think of that?
What can I think, Angelo? It's just, what are you doing? Filming my wrinkles or something? Just move back. Yeah, I think, what's his name? Ayatollah, whatever.
There's good character work within the fighting. Usually a lot of movies, when they start fighting...
more than good.
Stop talking when I talk. When the character... Usually, in a lot of action movies, when characters start fighting, it's like the characters stop mattering. But in this, the characters were part of the fight. You could see Randy was really pushing himself and being energetic, even though he's probably, 53 or something in this?
Yeah, but he was pushing too much. Even though his opponent says, take it easy, I'm not gonna, but he was just pushing himself to the extreme. Okay,
so overall, what did you think of The Wrestler?
Oh, I think it's
and Darren Aronofsky's direction.
Yeah,
the sound, the spare sound and music and everything, cinematography.
Oh, the music was, very kind of powerful music, and Aronofsky, whatever he did really good job on this one. Aronofsky, he did really good job on this movie.
Go on.
Okay. From 1 to 10, okay, 10 plus. What do you give? How you grade it? Don't you say anything? Say something.
You did a good job of getting my ideas across. Boy, there is so much hurting in this thing. I felt it myself.
Yeah, I know. That's what it is. It's just you feel, oh my God, I have nuts in my stomach just watching this. I didn't know. When you see it for the first time, you don't know who's gonna die. You feel like he's gonna die. You know.
What did you think about the end when Randy gets up on the top rope and he still jumps, even though, he could have ended the match before it, and he probably couldn't. He might have. Well, who knows? What did you think of that? Watching him do it, especially maybe the first time you saw it, because now you. But what were you thinking when he's getting up on the rope, and he's sick. He's
I know he just did his best effort,
But what were you feeling during that scene?
I was feeling nuts in my butterflies. You feeling right here, from here to here. You feeling sick, even though it's acting and it's thing, but you can't help it. It's so real, It's so real. That's how you feel, and it's so much anxiety in that thing. Oh my God! Too much and everything. You feel like, how many times I see this? Probably 3-4 times now.
Yeah, I think
and
3
I
times.
still feel the same thing, the same, anxiety, like I see it in the first time, even though I know it's a movie. But that's how it is, so real and so powerful.
What did you think of how Randy lived, he worked at the deli, and really, mostly he worked behind the deli, unloading the packages from the trucks on the
how
weekdays.
He lived, he
in
had...
a trailer park.
He had... What kind of life is that? He has such a sad, and on the other hand, life. The way he lived is just, he couldn't change himself. He had what he needed to change, but he couldn't. Like I said, such a powerful, strong, and then the other hand, weak nature,
Yeah, you're just saying words I've told you before about the movie, but yeah.
No, that's my words. That's mine. You telling me. You always telling me. Okay, get that crap out of my face now. And don't laugh. Don't laugh.